Hi everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is for Spellbinders using the Merry Stitching Large Die of the Month for November. Everything that I've used for this project is listed and linked below and also on my blog. I wanted to say that I was a little intimidated by this project, but it actually turned out to be super easy. Now here are the dies that come in the Large Die of the Month. You have a snowflake, you have a border, and then you have a Christmas tree. Each one of them comes with a coordinating die. The border die only cuts at the bottom of the border, not the whole image. So for today's project, I am just going to be using the tree, and I'm not even going to be using the coordinating die, just the part that cuts out all of the holes. So I'm going to make a mini slim card. It measures 3.5 by 6, and I'm lining up that die in the center, but towards the top of this white cardstock. This will be trimmed down a little bit smaller than the 3.5 by 6, but I'm just starting with this. And I'm going to use my Scotch removable tape and just tape that down and run that through my die cut machine. And when I take that out, you're going to see that it just has all the little dots for the stitching, but you can still tell that it is a Christmas tree. I'm going to use my tool-in-one, the brush end and the pointy end, the piercing end, and I'm going to poke out all the little dots to have them all opened and ready for stitching. Now that that's done, I'm going to show you that it has some little embossing lines where you can see it's kind of a guide of where your thread should be going. So from that center circle out to all the other little circles, you will see the nice little embossed lines. So I am using two colors of green, a lighter green and a darker green, and I'm going to start with the light green thread, and I'm running that through that top part of the tree in the center hole. And I'm taping that down on the back. I decided to switch out the color of tape because I didn't want to accidentally see that purple tape through the white cardstock. So I went through the back, through that center hole, and now I'm going to do the bottom half of each one of these circles in the lighter green. So the bottom 3 on each side of the circles, that's where my thread is going to go, and I'm going to work from the top all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going with a lighter green on the bottom and a darker green on top because I want that shading effect. So when you look at like your Christmas tree or when you're coloring a Christmas tree, usually the branches that stick out the furthest at the bottom of each layer is the lighter color. So that is the look I'm going for here. This is not a dramatic change. The two colors of green that I have are pretty similar, but in person you can see the variation. So I'm just going to keep working through, coming through the center, going off to the side, coming back through the center, going off to the side circles, and I'm just working my way through that bottom. And then I'm going to come down to that next circle there on the bottom, the next one down on the left. And I'm just going to start there and just again doing the bottom half of each circle, and I'm going to work my way all the way down to the bottom of this tree. As you can see here, I'm just finishing up that bottom part, and see how cute it is? It's already starting to look like a tree. This would be cute to do with white on the top there to look like there is snow sitting on the tree, and that would be super darling. But that is how that looks. Now I'm going to come in with my darker green. Again, I'm starting at the top, and I'm going to fill in all the tops of each one of these circles on the layers of this Christmas tree. Keeping it pretty simple. I have a really long string here, so it kept wanting to get tied into a knot, but as long as I went slow, it seemed to be pretty good. And I would just kind of tilt my cardstock forward because it kept wanting to catch on the corners of my cardstock, and it also kept wanting to catch on my scissors off to the side. It was kind of funny, kind of driving me nuts. But once that once the thread got shorter, it was much easier to work with. But having the longer string, the longer thread is much better because you don't have to keep replacing your thread, which I did on another project that I had done before this one, but it still worked out just fine. So I'm just finishing up that bottom last part of the tree, and I don't know if you can see the variation there, but in person you can see it, and I love how this turned out. So now I'm just going to tape this down on the back. I'm just going to lay my string down, kind of pulling it tight using just a little bit of tape, and taping that down and trimming off the excess thread. Now I'm going to come in with some seed beads, and you notice here I haven't done the bottom part of the tree. I forgot about it and was like, oh my gosh, I need to add the bottom part of the tree. But I'm using red and white seed beads, just using a little bit of liquid glue, and the bottom layer of the tree I have 3 seed beads on each one, and the rest of the layers there's only 2 seed beads, and I'm using this as my pretty Christmas ornaments. So I stuck with red and white because I did not want to take away from that pretty green thread on the tree. So now I'm coming in with gold thread. It's like a gold sparkle thread, and on the bottom it's the tree trunk. You definitely could do brown, but it shows that it's a crisscross action, and I'm just going one direction one way, and then I'm going to come back and go the opposite direction, and then it will look like the X's or the crisscross that it's supposed to look like. So I'm just going to finish that up. Super, super easy, and just tape the excess to the back and trim off the thread, and then we will be good to go. I think I got a little bit tangled in the back, but it turned out really super cute, and I love the gold touch. Now that's done, and you can see the nice gold thread at the bottom, and it has a little crisscross motion. I am going to glue down onto a mini slimline red card base out of Scarlet cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse. I trimmed a piece of Gold Touch Sparkle, slightly smaller than the 3.5 by 6. And my Christmas tree panel, I am going to use some foam tape behind that because I do want that popped up for dimension. And I'm just making sure I'm not covering up any of the holes on the back of the tree. I will be putting a piece of foam tape behind the star because when we die cut this, the little die cut star came out, and I saved that because I want to add some stickles to that. So I'm just going to peel back all the release paper, and then I will center that, and we will have a mat of red and a mat of glitter gold, which I think is really super pretty for this card. I'm just going to adhere that down, and then I'm going to pop in that little star, and because we have that sticky foam tape, it sticks right in. I'm going to come in with my gold Stickles. It's glittery, which is perfect. I'm just going to add a little bit of that to that top star. Any color would be cute, even like the Nuvo crystal drops in White Blizzard, that would be darling, but I just wanted to keep it with the gold theme. Now I have these sentiments that I have already stamped and die cut from Tailored Expressions. This is the Simple Strips Christmas in their little holder, and I just wanted that red, and I just was finding a sentiment that was small enough to fit underneath that Christmas tree. So I'm going to add some foam tape behind that, and the sentiment says Making Spirits Bright. And I'm going to add that down, and this card is going to be done. I'm not going to add anything else to it because I just want it to be all about this Christmas tree, and it is so cute. I hope you guys really like this project. I was just so nervous about it and felt super intimidated, but it is so simple, and I'm so glad I did it, and I think I might actually be addicted to this. So I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up, comment, share. I would really appreciate that. I do have some affiliate links below. It costs you guys nothing to use, but it does help me, so thank you, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.